I've got all the elements here to make this card with. I've got a nice square scalloped edge card that I'm going to decorate. I've got the small ballet shoes there, then got the medium size. I've got my template for my bow, so let's get cracking. So I'll keep that to one side. First of all, I've decided on using these three, or those two actually, those two different for background mat and layering. So I'm going to use white first to put a little border around it. So all you've got to do is take your white here and put a little bit of glue on, and I'm going to make these fairly thin mat and layers so it looks quite classy. So all you've got to do is add your glue and then just layer all these up. Next background is this nice buff colour here, and again just a little glue, cut it down, stick it down, and then just trim around it. It helps if you position this perfectly first. As I say, I'm just wanting a little thin border going around, and that's going to go there. Another little white border, a little bit of glue, and position and stick. Finally, I'm going to finish off with this nice little pale pink background. I don't need another white one on the back of that because it's going onto a white card. Now I'm just going to stick this onto the front of my card. Again, just a little bit of glue and position. Now I've made this quite big here, but I'm putting it at the top, and I'm just doing it so it fits into that corner nicely and just kind of edges up here, matches down here and down here. Put it at the top because I've got ideas for the bottom here now. So let's make the band and the bow. Now I've made this ribbon here using the same colours, and I did a strip of the ballerina background paper here in the middle, a thin strip, then white, and then that buff colour, then white, and then pink again. Now I'm going to stick that along the bottom. I'll just put a little bit of glue here to hold it in place. Now I'm just going to position that over there like that. Let it overlap, because you can either trim it straight or cut it to follow the line of the scallop shape. I've stuck that down, and now taking my scissors, just cut at the end there so you got a nice finish there. And just for ease now, I'm just going to cut straight across at the bottom there like that, and just trim that little bit there where it goes around the corner. So there you go, that's that bit. Now you could leave it like that if you want to, I think it looks really nice, but I'm going to add a little bow to there too. Now to make the bow you need to take the template here. Now I want the bow to run the same direction as the bottom of the card. There's the bottom of the card, and you can see I've got I don't want it going that way so the ballet shoes will look a bit daft. I want them running the same direction, so make sure that's the right direction first, then turn it over and then position your template, and then with a little bit of masking tape just tape it down, because you don't want it moving around when you're cutting it out. Just stick this down all the way around like that. Now before you start cutting it out, make sure that you actually do all the embossing bits. This is my embossing tool here that I'm just going to mark where the dotted line is. That's where it's going to crease. So if you first of all, before you cut it out, just go along with the ruler and your embossing tool. Any blunt instrument will do. And just go over it once or twice or more if you've got thicker paper underneath or card. This will just help it crease perfectly where the folds are for making the bow. Now all you've got to do is cut that out. So now you can see that's cut out. There's the template, you can use that again, and there's my ribbon ready for folding. So all I have to do now is where the folds naturally occur that you've already creased, is just fold those down, and on this side fold that one back. So then again you're folding that down and that back, so you end up with your bow like that. Now what helps as well is if you open this up a little bit and just put a little blob of glue at each section. So I'm folding that back, that goes there, that folds over there like so, a little bit more glue, that'll fold over there, and finally a little bit more glue there like so. Now what you can also do is when you turn this over, you just push that up a little bit so you get more of a 3D look to the bow, and you can put something in there like a pencil or a pen and just roll it around. It'll help give you that rounded look. I'm using a scalpel, not the best idea in the world, so try not to cut yourself if you do it this way. You're probably safer with a pencil, but you can see I'm just rolling that round and it just gives you that nice rounded effect there. Then that can just go on the front of your card. So there's my bow, and I've just put a little flat back jewel in the middle there, foam pad on the back, and that's going to position in the middle. The foam pad just raises it slightly and just makes it look more 3D. Make sure that's in the middle, and there's your finished card. So now you can see the bow on the card. Now I've put a little flat back jewel there in the middle of the bow and a foam pad on the back just to lift it a little bit more, and I think that looks